Hi, welcome to the Apollo Bay race where we're just going to have a look at the weather system this Wednesday afternoon and see what the fleet might be in for on Saturday. If we start off and have a look at the synoptic analysis, you can see that I've put this cross here, which is the center of this high that we have over the state on Friday morning. And then if I show you on Saturday morning, you can actually see that the high has gone backwards. So normally these systems travel from west to east, and this one's actually going back the other way. And if you look at Sunday, it still hasn't got to the extent on Friday. And if you look at Monday, it's actually starting to go north rather than actually go more to the east. So the reason for that is that if we go and have a look at the 500 millibar height, and this is where the jet streams are, and they're what drive the system, and you can see that the main stream is well south of Tasmania, so it's not driving this high that sits in here at all. So it's pretty well slow, and it will take a while for that. I'll just try and get rid of my little pink bits here. And so if we go and look on Saturday, you can see that not much has changed. This low system is starting to reinforce, and the same thing Sunday, and you can see that we might be touched by that low system somewhere Sunday night, Monday morning. So that's where the synoptic situation is. We are hoping that the jet streams might move on this 500 millibar chart, so we'll get a bit more action with the wind. So if we go and have a look at Met-Eye, we can see on Friday afternoon, looks like a perfect time to sail down to Queenscliff. If you're thinking about going down that way, lovely northerly, so it should be an easy fare. If we go to Saturday and we have a look at 7 o'clock on Saturday morning, which is start time, fortunately it looks like the fleet will get out of the heads okay, but we've got this light following winds here, so in the 5 to 10 knots, so quite tricky conditions coming out of here. Look a little bit so on Saturday, well, the northerlies picked up a bit, so there's going to be quite a bit of jibing. You can see that this tack here will pay quite nicely, but coming out of here is going to be quite difficult, so quite tricky for the navigators looking at getting out of with the land and in the land and where the wind might be. Looking a bit further on in the day, you can see it's starting to go a bit northwest, and then it's coming from the east. Sorry, that was northeast here, and then it's coming more east and becoming a pure easterly as we later on the go, which is a bit of a sea breeze effect. We can see that this does hold in for the night, so if we look at when some of the boats are going to be finished, it's still going to be a struggle into Apollo Bay with these light following winds, so it's going to be a very tricky race. So if we go and have a look at predict wind, and we have a look at the map here, and we'll just replay this for you, and so this is just showing you the four models, and as you can see, talking about some wind here and then getting fairly light winds over here. The EMC model, which is this yellow one, is going really slow because they reckon there's not going to be nearly enough wind, and this model here, the GFS model, is saying that the offshore route is going to pay. So as you can see from that, the predict wind models are not really sorted, because we can see basically if we look at the predict wind model here, which is the GFS, and this is the European model, they're putting a finish time or a speed of 4.5 to 4.6 knots, and you can see both the GSC and the EMC, and the EMC model, we believe a bit more, has got at 3.3. So the finish time in these two models is around 7 o'clock for a 40-footer on Saturday night, and these two models are showing Sunday morning. So going to be quite a tricky race, and so quite difficult. If we go and have a look at the other race that we've got in this year's race, this is the plastics in the ocean that we're trying to raise money for, and we can see we've got a clear leader in Algae Rose. It's $75 ahead of Faster Forward, with Blue Water Tracks another 100 behind that, and Shimmer coming in fourth place. It seems that the rest of the fleet haven't started yet, so we hope before start time we're going to get a little bit more competition in this race. So let's try and make this one a bit faster than the Apollo Berries. So hope to see you out in the start line. It looks like it could be a challenging race, so light, and so we want to make sure the boat's light as possible, and it looks like the jibing skills might come into it. So we'll give you a further update on Friday morning, and hopefully the weather will have made up its mind and we've got some consistent answers. See you soon.